Hello everyone and welcome back to Half Magic Tarot. Today's pick a card reading is a message from your higher self. So there are 4 piles to choose from. I suggest selecting the pile that sparks a memory in you. So for example, I would choose pile 4, the 9 of Swords, because the setup of the bed and the quilt reminds me of like the sleeping setup that my dad had for me when I would visit him as a kid. So feel free to pause the video now to select your pile. I will put the timestamps in the description down below, and let's get started. If you selected pile 1, the World, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the 4 of Cups, the Empress, the Knight of Pentacles, the 7 of Pentacles, and the 2 of Cups. For your chocolate lovers card, we got chocolate pudding, balance. All right, my pile 1. So what message does your higher self have for you? Well, we start off your spread with this 4 of Cups. So immediately what I'm hearing is that recently you have been kind of avoiding celebrating the accomplishments that you've made. I get the sense that for most of you who choose this pile, you're the kind of person who always has a goal in mind. You're always working towards something, towards self-improvement, towards completing goals, to leveling up in some kind of way in your life. But when you actually reach those milestones, you don't take the time to celebrate it. It's just like, okay, I did it, now what's next? And your higher self is really stressing that you should be kind of slowing down and taking the time to appreciate all that you've accomplished. Otherwise, you're going to burn out. And that's really kind of coming through in the first card in this spread, this 4 of Cups, because the 4 of Cups can indicate a refusal to kind of see the miraculousness of the things that are going on in your day-to-day life. It's a refusal to kind of accept that what you've done or what you have around you is actually very special. So for some of you, you're a little bit too caught up in thinking about the future, or too caught up in your own fears and anxiety about how things that will turn out, that you haven't recognized how far you've already come. And with the Empress here, this is all about abundance and harvest. So I do think that the people who are viewing this pile have accomplished a lot recently. You've probably leveled up in some kind of way. Maybe you got a new job, you got accepted into a program that you're really excited about, you have made a lot of new friends, you are settling into a new apartment, a new home, something like this. But you have a lot to be happy about. You have a lot to spread love to. You have a lot to be grateful for. And I'm not saying that the people in this pile are ungrateful. I just think that you are not the kind of person who really likes to consider your own accomplishments. There's a sense of selflessness here, but to the point where you sometimes neglect your own needs and you neglect to care for yourself. Which is why the universe is telling you with this Knight of Pentacles in the middle of your spread that it's time to slow down. You're a hard worker and will continue to be a hard worker and be someone who can really put your head down and do the work that's necessary to accomplish all of your goals. There's no doubt about it here. But also the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight in the tarot. There's a message here that you can still get all your work done and have all these accomplishments and continue your path to self-improvement while taking time to stop and smell the flowers. So if you are overworking yourself right now, you know, your higher self is really telling you it's time to also take some time to devote to doing things that are fun and maybe don't necessarily contribute to providing you with a better, more stable future, but give you a more happy present, if that makes sense. Because with this 7 of Pentacles, there's this feeling of the 7 of Pentacles is all about kind of waiting to get what you've been working towards. And the Empress is all about harvest. So the thing is, you have harvested plenty of the things that you've worked towards. You've accomplished a lot of goals, but you never really see it that way. You always see it as, I'm still waiting for this next step to come in. I'm still waiting for this next thing to happen. And your higher self is really encouraging you to find a balance between working towards these bigger goals and also acknowledging the smaller things that you've already accomplished and finding a way to celebrate them. And it doesn't have to be extravagant. The Empress is really also kind of be a card of self-care. So it could be anything as small as giving yourself a nice hot bath to lay in, finding a good book to read, cooking yourself a nice meal, spending time with your friends. Because if you're too busy focusing on kind of the day-to-day upkeep that's required to kind of advance your life in whatever way, then you're neglecting the more fun aspects of your life. And I think it's easy, especially now that we're entering kind of the darker and colder months, depending on where you live, I guess. But for most of you, I imagine that we're entering winter. It's easier to kind of stay inside and isolate yourself and not spend as much time cultivating the warmth in your life. And with the Two of Cups at the end of your spread, if you take your higher self's advice and slow down and find the balance between working towards all of these things that you are going to accomplish anyway, because you have that drive and you have that initiative about you, then you will find that you end up a lot happier with your relationships with yourself, with other people, with your friends. You feel much more connected emotionally to the world around you and the people around you when you take the time to have a fun experience and acknowledge the kind of beauty and wonder of everything that you've already done in the world around you. So for a select few of you, I'm also getting another message that you are someone who has a lot of love to give. Like, you're very caring and affectionate towards your friends, but there's this sense here that you have not received a romantic love of your own. You want someone to extend that same kind of loving feeling towards you, and it feels like it's not happening. It feels like that area of your life, your love life, is really stagnant. But if that does resonate as a message for you, we do have this Knight of Pentacles, which could represent an earth sign, specifically Virgo, but also Capricorn and Taurus to a lesser extent, that will come in for you, and you could have the start of a beautiful relationship with this Two of Cups. But like I said, that's a select message. I feel like for most of you, this is really about being able to strike the balance in your own life and celebrate your accomplishments and be able to slow down and let yourself be free from the constant need to work on self-improvement, and instead just enjoy your life. Like, try to spend one day without like working. And I don't mean working necessarily like going to your job, but like I said, I feel like for a lot of people in this pile, you're the kind of people who have like a very strict routine or something, and you don't really allot yourself time to just kind of dilly-dally and really figure out what it is that you want to do specifically, like in your body in that moment. So that's some advice from your higher self. Because with the pile marker, you chose the World card. The World is all about kind of completing these accomplishments in your life. So for a lot of you, you were attracted to this card because it resonates with you in your life at the moment, with everything that you've accomplished, but you're refusing to kind of acknowledge in yourself. So again, take the time to really extend the same congratulatory thing that you would give to your friends or to your family members to yourself. So for your chocolate lovers card, we got chocolate pudding, balance, and on the back of this card, it says, now is the time to find balance in many areas of your life. Work, finances, and relationships in particular. Certain people and situations need your attention. Alchemy is at work. You may find yourself juggling many different aspects of life at this time, balancing, mixing, and matching this with that until things fall into place and feel right. You may need to try several approaches before you settle on what feels right for you. Balance your inner self with your outer, and you will reach your goals quicker, but work will be required to make this happen. I live my life in balance. All my expectations are met with ease. So this is kind of reiterating what I've been saying. I feel like you, by nature, are a hardworking person with this Knight of Pentacles, And because of that, you are going to move forward and progress anyway, but it's okay to take your time while doing it and also celebrate life, celebrate joy, celebrate your connections with other people and with yourself in the meantime, because having that balance between constantly working and having, cultivating this warmth, these relationships, this happiness, this attention to the detail and the joy of life is going to be the thing that ultimately enables you to sustain this hard-working thing. Because if you were just working hard and you continue to not really acknowledge the other aspects of your life, or you continue to not celebrate your accomplishments, eventually you will feel burnt out and you will feel, drained and like, I don't know why I'm doing this, because you're not really focusing on how much you've already accomplished and how far you've already come. So again, that is the message from your higher self. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you. Take care. If you selected pile 2, the 5 of Wands, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the Magician, the World, the 5 of Wands, the Star, and the Queen of Pentacles. For your chocolate lovers card, we got Chocolate Box Mystery. Okay, my pile 2, so what message does your higher self have for you? We start off your spread with this Magician, immediately followed by the World. And the Magician is the second card in the Major Arcana. It's the second card in the tarot, right after the Fool. And the Magician is someone who is at the beginning of their journey and has all the tools that they need in order to complete it, but hasn't really started yet. So this is someone who is gathering their energy, gathering their strength, gathering their materials in order to accomplish what they need to. And this Magician is looking out towards a World, which is the last card in the Major Arcana, which represents the ending of the Fool's journey. And the World is cycles coming to an end, completion, really big accomplishments in your life. And so I get the sense that for this pile, a lot of you have a specific goal in mind that you have been working towards, and you feel like you have the ideas, you have the passion, you have maybe the material qualities that you need, whether that's funds or resources, whatever that is. You can see so clearly how you want it to be and how you want it to end up, but you feel like there's a big distance between where you're currently at and where you want to end up. And your fear is that there are too many obstacles in the way. With this 5 of Wands in the middle of your spread, and also as your pile marker, this is coming through very, very strongly. There's this fear that there are too many setbacks, too many, the little things that are kind of knocking you out of the path or setting you back. There's maybe people who are not being very supportive, people who are being underhanded or like overly competitive with you, people who do not want to see you succeed in this. But it could be even something as simple as, it's just like one of those days where you feel bad, so you're like, I want to get food from my favorite restaurant, and you drive all the way there and it's closed. And then you decide to order from somewhere else, but you put in the wrong delivery address, and so it gets delivered to someone else. It's just like one by one, these little things that maybe on their own are inconsequential, but when you're already feeling kind of pessimistic, it just makes it feel like the whole world is against you. And I think this is something that you have experienced pretty frequently recently. But your higher self wants you to know that these setbacks are all a part of the Fool's journey. I mean, between the Magician and the World in the Major Arcana, we have things like the Hanged Man, we have the Tower, we have Death. We have these things that traditionally people see as being kind of negative, but are ultimately necessary for the growth that will allow you to level up and reach this world, this cycle of completion that you need. No one's life is going to be a linear line towards a thing that you want. There's going to be setbacks, but ultimately those things will make you more emotionally resilient. It will make you reevaluate the necessary things that you need in order to achieve goals that you set from the beginning. And I think that's really the message that your higher self wants you to know, is that despite these setbacks, these are really minor in your journey. I mean, we have 3 major arcana cards. We have the Magician, the World, the Star, and then this 5 of Wands. This is minor arcana. This is just something that you'll forget about like 3 months from now. So your higher self really wants you to know that you should not stress out about this or feel like it's the end of the line for you. Ultimately, these things are just here to help you grow and strengthen your resolve and be able to fix any, holes in your plans, so that way when you do reach the world, you feel like you've accomplished more because you've overcome all of these little obstacles and you've done it with such resilience and grace. Because the 4th card in your spread is the Star, which is a card of wish fulfillment. It's a card of hopefulness. So your higher self wants you to know that this thing that you have been dreaming about accomplishing will come true for you. It's something that is completely possible for you. Because you are forward thinking and you're moving towards it, and you should not give up hope just because of some little obstacle that ultimately in the end won't matter once you've accomplished this really wonderful thing that you've been working towards, because you are represented by this Queen of Pentacles energy. You could be an earth sign, specifically Capricorn, but also Virgo and Taurus. And the Queen of Pentacles is someone who finds a way to achieve her goals. She's very hardworking, she's very resilient, but she also has a way of nurturing both herself and other people in the process. The Queen of Pentacles is someone who, if they wanted to start a business, for example, they would work really hard to start their business and still manage to get 8 hours of sleep and have a nice dinner party with their friends once a week. This is someone who is very good at finding the balance and recognizing that even if you have goals, it shouldn't be the only thing that you are focusing on in your life. It's important to recognize that the setbacks that you feel don't affect the other beautiful parts of your life, and that you still have and are maintaining this Magician energy. You are still someone who makes things happen. You are still someone who is entirely capable, regardless of the feelings that you have about this 5 of Wands situation that keeps popping up for you. So, your chocolate lovers card is Chocolate Box Mystery. And on the back of that card, it says, in the words of Forrest Gump, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Life is a mystery. Some days are hard, some are soft, some are easy, some are bitter, and some filled with sadness, while others are full of sweetness. The cycle of life is forever moving, changing, adapting. Change itself can be difficult and even traumatic, but remember that we are currently enjoying a very spiritual and karmic time of our human existence. Live in the now, count your blessings, and think positively. The wheel of fate is ever turning. I greet each new day with trust, and I believe in the cycle of life. I go with the flow. So exactly what I said. I think with the Magician and the World next to each other, you are currently on the Fool's journey. You're in this cycle, and there's going to be ups and downs, but you shouldn't let, one bad day affect your vision, affect your hopefulness of your future, because you are someone who is so capable. You have the vision, you have the tools necessary, you have the resilience. And ultimately, these little obstacles, the 5 of Wands, people, doubting you, people in competition with you, these little setbacks are going to be something that don't really matter in the end. So it's important to kind of enjoy the journey as it's happening and just see it as a little stop along the way. All right, my pile twos, that is it for your reading. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you. Take care. If you selected pile 3, the Ace of Wands, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the 3 of Swords, the Sun, the 8 of Wands, the 10 of Cups, and the 10 of Pentacles. For your chocolate lovers card, we got Strawberry Cream, Romance. Okay, wow, my pile threes. This is such a cute pile. This is Without a doubt about romance, your higher self really wants to talk to you about your love life. So let's get into it. We start off your spread with this Three of Swords, which is a card of heartbreak and grief, especially when it comes to love. So I feel like for a lot of you, you've had a really devastating breakup, or you've had this feeling of rejection when it comes to love. You feel like you're not good enough for anyone, or you feel like you will never find the kind of love that you really wish and hope for. Or in the past, someone really broke your heart in such a severe way where you're like, I can't even imagine being in like a happy relationship. I can't imagine having the kind of love that I've fantasized about. And with the sun here, there's this sense of, am I going to find this really happy thing, this thing that feels like a once in a lifetime? And in your spread, we have a rainbow both on the sun and on this 10 of Cups. And so something that I'm hearing is that your higher self wants you to know that rainbows can only come after it rains. So you had to experience this grief, this heartbreak, this kind of gloomy thing in order to have this beautiful thing reveal itself to you, because I think you needed the experience of maybe knowing what you don't want out of a relationship, or knowing how you are contributing to your own heartbreak. So for example, if you continue to choose emotionally unavailable people, and that is why you were ending up heartbroken, maybe this last heartbreak or this last rejection made you realize that, and now you really are focused on being with someone who makes you happy, who gives you that feeling of like innocent love, that it's like having a crush in like elementary school. It's like you, or in high school or something, you just get really excited to see this person during the day. You get excited about the prospect of holding hands. There's a certain innocence to this that I think, because you've been approaching love with so much anxiety and so much grief, so much like pain in your chest before, you haven't experienced. And now I think because you've been through this, you've decided that's enough. I'm ready to experience something that actually makes me happy. I don't want to be in a relationship that actually stresses me out. I think it's very important that your higher self wants you to know that you need to be selecting people for romantic prospects that add something to your life. Because I feel like a lot of time we get into a relationship with someone and actually it just stresses us out, and we feel like, terrible worrying about this person or what they're doing or what they're going to say to us or what they're going to do or if they like us and things like that. When it should just be, I enjoy having this person in my life because they encourage me to grow. They take care of me. They value me as a person. And admittedly, it can be hard to find someone like that. And I think that's part of the fear or the grief here. But with the sun, like I said, you have two rainbows. You have this beautiful connection coming in for you. And this person could be a Leo or have a prominent Leo placement in their natal chart, sun, moon, rising Venus. So this person that comes in for you, they're going to be like a sunshiny kind of person. They're really going to light up your life. I feel like you will laugh a lot together. You'll have a lot of fun together, and you will feel kind of like the butterfly feelings of innocent, attraction to someone. And with the 8 of Wands in the middle of your spread, I'm picking up that this connection will be somewhat of a surprise for you. I think because you're in this 3 of Swords energy, you will be kind of shocked by how much you immediately like this person. It just feels like they came out of nowhere and you were like, what are the odds? Because I had kind of given up on love at this point. And the 8 of Wands also represents kind of the flames of attraction. So this is someone that you're very physically attracted to immediately. There's a lot of charisma. There's a lot of chemistry between you and this person. And the communication is pretty quick, pretty forthcoming. So this is not going to be someone who makes you wait on their text. This is not someone where you're, waiting by the phone wondering when they're going to respond to you. This person is eager to talk to you, and they will make that clear. So in the end, we have this 10 of Cups and this 10 of Pentacles next to each other, which is so crazy. When I was I never really talk about how I choose the things, but basically I overhand shuffle and I take jumpers in order. So when these two cards came out, I was like, oh my God, this is so cute. It's such an amazing reading. So the 10 of Cups is emotional fulfillment. It's finding someone that you really feel like you can be yourself with and be completely honest and vulnerable with. And obviously, in any romantic situation, there is always the chance that you will end up heartbroken. But being able to really fully believe and trust in someone and open yourself up with knowing that's a possibility is like a really radical thing to do. And with these two swans on the card, I feel like you really feel like you found your perfect match in this person. There's just so much love, there's so much happiness, and it feels like, you had to go through these other trials and tribulations in order to come into each other, which is really sweet. And with the 10 of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles is the card of like material stability. So we have the emotional fulfillment and also the material fulfillment. And the 10 of Pentacles can also indicate generations of family. So this could even be someone that you start a family with. This person could become your family. You could have children together. You could have grandchildren together. You could really start a life together because we have the end of cycles for this. I think this is like your person, your last person that you're going to meet. And there's, the complete emotional fulfillment. There's so much stability here. You don't have to worry about this person's feelings wavering. They make it very clear to you how they're feeling. They're very honest with you. And you have a lot to build up together. There's not really a fear of this crumbling down. And with the Ace of Wands being your pile marker, I do feel like this is a new person because aces are, the beginning of something. And I feel like this is someone who will really excite you when you meet them. Now, when might you meet this person? So for some of you, I think you will end up meeting this person next the end of July or next August. And the reason why I say that is because we have the sun, which is representative of Leo. Leo season is the end of July through most of August. And then we have the 10 of Cups, which represents 10 months. We actually have two 10s here, so 10 of Cups and 10 of Pentacles. So very strongly, you could meet this person next July, August, but more heavily August. And please take that as it resonates. I'm not saying that that's a definitive for everyone, but it is a possibility in terms of timing of when you might meet this person. So for your chocolate lovers card, we got strawberry cream romance, which says, it is okay to feel reluctant and shy. View the world through romantic eyes. Open your heart to tenderness, even when caution and tradition are encouraged. Be a loyal friend to others and yourself. Embrace nostalgia and sentimentality. A time of happiness and childhood memories abounds. Return to your youth. Honor your inner child. Ring an old friend. Organize a school reunion. Approach a new opportunity with a childlike eagerness. Welcome all opportunity with childlike excitement. I honor my inner child and give it all. It needs to stay nourished, healthy, and happy and young at heart. Okay, so what did I say with open your heart to tenderness even when caution and tradition are encouraged? So the caution here is this 3 of Swords where maybe your heart has been wounded, so you're really protective of it. You're not wearing it on your sleeve anymore. But then we go from this 3 of Swords to this 10 of Cups, which I said is kind of like a radical, emotional honesty, emotional availability, really wearing your heart on your sleeve in spite of this fear that you might be hurt again, which is really beautiful. That's exactly what the card says. And then there's also this emphasis on kind of sentimentality, nostalgia, and finding the youthful happiness that we carried as a child, which is also represented in the Sun card, which I said is going to be the kind of love that you end up receiving, the kind of person that you end up sharing your life with. So again, maybe the advice on this card, ring an old friend, organize a school reunion, approach a new opportunity with a childlike eagerness. Maybe this is the way that you will end up meeting this person, by maybe visiting your hometown, doing something that really made you happy as a child. So your higher self wants you to know that this thing will be coming for you, so you don't really need to worry about, am I going to be forever alone or whatever. But while you're waiting for this person to come in, do not, sit and stew and think about waiting for them to come in. You're really being encouraged to take the time to find ways to make yourself happy and nurture your inner child. So in the meantime, work on building yourself up and work on finding happiness within yourself when you're alone, because that will ultimately help attract this person even more strongly. All right, my pile threes, that is it for your reading. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you. Take care. If you selected pile 4, the 9 of Swords, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the Hierophant, the High Priestess, the 2 of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Lovers. For your chocolate lovers card, we got Chewy Nougat, Patience. All right, my pile 4s, so what does your higher self want you to know? This is a really interesting pile. So we start off your spread with the Hierophant and the High Priestess, and this is a perfect coupling in the tarot. And not only that, but this isn't just a court card. It's not like the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. This is major arcana perfect couple. And in particular, this perfect couple is spiritually inclined. The Hierophant is often represented by the Pope, like a priest, someone who is very spiritual but also adheres to tradition, something that really stands the test of time. And the High Priestess is someone who really follows her intuition. This is the witchy woman of the tarot. So for some of you, you could be Cancers or Tauruses, or have a prominent Cancer or Taurus placement in your natal chart, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. But overall, as a representation of you, the viewer, you are a person who is very spiritually inclined. You are very interested in kind of esoteric practices. You also may be a tarot reader or be involved in some kind of other divination practice, things of that nature. Now, for 99% of you, I do think that this is a message from your higher self regarding love specifically, but I don't think that this necessarily has to be love, but it is about a sense of partnership with yourself and with something else. So there is this fear here with the 9 of Swords as your court card that you are missing out on the thing that you will find most fulfilling. For some of you, this is a really spiritual, deep, romantic connection. You feel like, will I ever meet my soulmate? Do I even have a soulmate? I feel like maybe I'm meant to be alone forever. I just feel like I can't see it happening for me. It just feels so out of the way to find something where I feel like I just have this really deep connection to another person. And not only that, but it will be really stable and long lasting, as evidenced by the Hierophant. Now, if this doesn't connect with you as a romantic situation, then this could be another sort of thing. So maybe it's your life calling. You feel like, I don't really know what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. I don't really feel like I have any connection to my current life path, and I feel a little aimless or like I'm wandering. Well, the Hierophant represents coming into something that is stable, something that you can build on and grow on and will last forever for you, combined with this kind of gut feeling of knowing that something's meant for you, of having this kind of innate skill or draw towards something. So for a lot of you, this is like a life calling situation. You just feel a little aimless. You don't know what you're supposed to be looking towards. You don't know what it is that's going to make you feel like connected to the world around you. You don't know what it is that's going to make you feel like you have a sense of stability, because you haven't really connected with anything yet. And for some of you, this is specifically a romantic connection. So with the 2 of Swords in the middle of your spread, the 2 of Swords is a card of stagnation. It's a card of lack of forward movement. And specifically in a love reading, I sometimes see the 2 of Swords as someone who has closed themselves off from the possibility of romance. This is someone who kind of refuses to put themselves out there. So if that resonates with you, it could be that you really want this kind of really profound romantic connection, but you haven't really allowed yourself to be vulnerable or be open with someone. You have a lot of walls up, which is kind of preventing this thing from coming in for you. If you're looking for kind of like a life purpose situation, then this is where you feel stagnant. You feel like, I don't really know how to proceed. And I think this is giving you a lot of anxiety, because this feeling of purposelessness is not really good to have in your day-to-day life, because it's hard to proceed when you feel like you don't have anything to look forward to. But the good news is, what your higher self really wants to relate to you is that we have this Ace of Pentacles, which is this new opportunity presenting itself. And because it is Pentacles, this is something that is stable. It is something that will stick around, something that you can definitely build on. It's a little seed that you plant and you grow into a sapling, and then a tree, and then a full forest. That is the kind of process and the path that you're on. And you may not see the growth right now, but once this opportunity comes in for you, this is something that will be sticking around in your life long term, just like the Hierophant, just like, this very stable, traditional thing that sticks around forever. If this resonates for you more romantically, this is a person coming into your life, probably a new person who is going to offer you a very stable beginning. This is not someone who really believes in like a talking phase or a situationship. They're very much like, I want to go on a date with you, then I want to be in a relationship with you. They want solid offers to be put on the table with you as a person. If this is more about a life purpose situation, this is a new opportunity coming in. It could be a new job, a new interest that you suddenly come into, something that you really find yourself enjoying and see yourself being able to do long term. And finally, at the end of your spread, we have the Lovers, which is all about a stable, long-term partnership and a sense of decisiveness. So, if this is romantic, this is you meeting your soulmate, your perfect match, the Hierophant to your High Priestess, or the High Priestess to your Hierophant, however you see yourself. This is a really stable connection where the communication is really great. You really feel like you can speak to each other intuitively. You have a mind and soul connection that exceeds the kind of things that you had closed yourself off to before, the kind of shallow things that maybe you were offered in the past that didn't seem like they could go anywhere. And because of that, you closed down a little bit. If this is a sense of purpose, a sense of direction, this Ace of Pentacles, the thing that comes into your life that you really grasp onto, is going to be something that is with you long term. It's something that you can build partnerships on. It's something that you can, take with you into the future. And with the Lovers specifically, we go from this Two of Swords to the Lovers. And like I said, the Two of Swords is a card of indecision, but the Lovers is a card of decisiveness. So this thing that comes in for you, this Ace of Pentacles offer, is really going to be the thing that allows you to move away from this state of worry of, will I ever find this perfect thing for me, this perfect person for me, into this more stable, happy, open energy. And with your pile marker being the Nine of Swords, like I said, I do feel like this concern about whether or not you'll find this perfect match, this thing for you, has been something that has really weighed on you. It's something that you have a lot of anxiety about. I think for a lot of you, it's something that comes up like late at night when you're alone in your bed. This is the thing that stresses you out or worries you, is that, will I ever find, someone who's good for me? It feels like it's just impossible. For others of you, it's, will I ever figure out what I want to do with my life? I just feel so listless. I feel aimless. And you could even be experiencing like insomnia because of this. Like the anxiety from it has been keeping you up at night. So for your Chocolate Lovers card, we got Chewy Nougat, Patience. And on the back of this card, it says, it may be that a lot of things are up in the air at this time. You may feel frustrated and tired of waiting. So again, that goes hand in hand with the Nine of Swords. That's this feeling of frustration, this feeling of, will it ever happen for me? That is keeping you up at night, that is giving you anxiety, that is giving you, feelings of sadness. The card continues, decisions feel like they're no longer yours to make. Your life may feel like it is being controlled by another. which comes up in this Two of Swords, this feeling of indecisiveness, this feeling of not being able to make a decision or move forward. It feels like maybe you want this thing to happen for you, but the circumstances haven't come up where it's possible for you. So, for example, if this resonates for you as like a love reading, you really feel like, I would love to be in a relationship. I would love to find someone to love and to be loved in return, but it feels like I'm just never coming into the kind of person that I want to be in a relationship with. It never feels like anyone is offering me anything substantial in the same way that I would to them. And that's the fear that goes with this Nine of Swords and the Two of Swords. So this card signifies a time where all you can really do is wait and be patient. Don't try to force things to happen because your efforts may backfire on you. All you can do is let go, surrender control, and wait. I put my best foot forward and I wait patiently for the right time for my rewards to be manifested. So you have to be in this Two of Swords energy, this feeling of stagnation, this feeling of not having anything come in before this Ace of Pentacles comes in for you, before this new stable offer comes in. But your higher self wants you to know that just because it feels like it's taking forever, like it might not happen, doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Everything will work out for you in the end, and you will have this really profound connection with either a person or with a thing that you really feel called to intuitively, something that really aligns with your spirit and that makes you feel more fulfilled in your day-to-day life. All right, my pile fours, that is it for your reading. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you. Take care.